Hello, and welcome back to this channel. Today's gonna be an incredibly busy video because first of all today, we're gonna be moving around some stuff. We've already actually moved around a little bit, but we're gonna be moving around a lot more stuff. We're also gonna be germinating more plants for the aquaponics to grow in this summer. There's also a lot of major stuff happening with the ecosystem that I really want to talk to you guys about. And then, yeah, that'll basically be the end of the video. But there's a lot of other stuff I want to talk to you about because today, just walking around has been one of the biggest days I've had in a very long time with progress and plant growth, and just all of the stuff I'm going to be showing you is going to be absolutely remarkable. So let's go ahead and start today's video. Before we do, please subscribe, hit the notification on all so you not miss our video, and please like this video. Let's go ahead and start today's video. Well, I just can't wait for the ecosystem. I gotta do it now. So if you guys have been with the channel for quite some time, well, I haven't. So let me just say this: there's about 4 different types of fish. Guppies, a catfish to help clean the fish tank, shrimp, and 2 snails. Now, the fish tank has worked perfectly for a very long time, but something I've realized lately is a lot of stuff has been changing. Let me explain. First of all, I'm finally starting to see the shrimp. Let me say this: I've not seen any shrimp in here for maybe 2 weeks. Today's the first day I've seen shrimp. Then I decided to look in some of the old hiding spots, and there's another one right there. So I don't know if like one of them is laying eggs and now there's a ton of them starting to grow, because 2 weeks ago, well, maybe a week ago, there was no snails in here whatsoever. Unless they were coming out at night, they were never around. But let me also say this. Number one, the catfish is really, really helping to clean the fish tank. And second of all, the plan with the guppies to try and let all of those kind of grow their population looks like it's going to be working soon. Because if you look at both the females, both of their stomachs have slowly been expanding lately. And another sign you can tell if they're pregnant is we need this one to kind of go. You can see the side, the back of them has kind of like a black dot, almost like a little bit of a black line. It kind of needs to turn a little bit, but okay, you can see it right there. That is a huge indicator that they are pregnant because both of them do have it. So I might need to do some research about that, because I will most likely have to take the catfish out when they do lay, because the catfish will eat anything just like goldfish. So I will probably have to remove that in maybe 2 days, but I do think they're getting pretty close because they've been like that for about 2 weeks, and today is one of the days I really noticed them really, just their stomachs are the most expanded I've seen them so far, and they're acting a little bit different, so that might be a big indicator that there might be some baby guppies very, very soon, so that will be awesome. Looking around, I see 1 snail back there, and then I think I saw another one. Yep, there's another one right there. I'm really hoping, like a lot of the stuff I learned in here could go in the aquaponics fish tank, because I really do want to. Well, I really do want to just kind of start my own business. And to be honest, I will say this: I've never felt more confident in the last 2 days, because let me just tell you why. So I originally thought, the way Amazon kind of said their grow light information, it made it sound like each grow light was 150 watts. That is not true. Out of the 6 in that pack, it equals up to 150, meaning each grow light is 25 watts. I mean, at the end of the day, 25 watts is still quite a lot of watts, but that makes me feel a lot more confident where this could be a successful business. Because originally I was thinking, if I could go, if this business would fail, it would be because power, energy, bills are going to be way too high. Now that is still a possibility. I'm not saying it's not a possibility anymore, but it's seeming a lot more possible where this could be a lot more successful. Also, I think I'm going to try growing some other plants some different ways, because if we go down here and go over to the tomatoes, check that out. We have a tomato starting to grow, so that is absolutely amazing. I'm so happy about that. So I'm thinking I might grow a lot more that kind of hydroponic way, see what happens if I give them nutrients, and yeah, we'll just see how stuff goes. But so far that's looking very good, and I might build kind of like an aquaponics square almost, where it's almost kind of like a giant, like a box in a way, where there's a ton of holes on the top, basically exactly like the aquaponics if all these tubes were connected, where it's just this giant tray of them. Now there are tubes, so it's not really the best example, but hopefully that could kind of get what I'm imagining a little bit better. Some things I've also done today is I actually moved the cilantro out here too, so that should really start growing. And then today it is actually pretty cold, not like freezing, but I'm really hoping the garden can survive, because there are some new plants out there, and this should be the very last day it gets okay cold outside, and then spring will officially be here. So I'm going to go ahead and start getting all of these sponges ready, and then just kind of laying them out, figuring out exactly what I want to grow, and then I'll see you guys in a second once they're laid out on their trays. Well, I decided to change up kind of the setup a little bit. So there's about 5 areas. So I'm going to do oak leaf, ruby red, grand lettuce, tango lettuce, and butter crunch, and then basil is going to be the bigger one, parsley, cilantro, gourmet, and salable mix. Now the only problem is I was counting. I didn't really count when I was kind of getting all the sponges ready, but I just counted all of them, and I have about 4 extra than what is required for the aquaponic setup. Because each setup, so I have 2 setups. One is about 106 or 108. So at the end of the day, I'm a little bit worried in that area, because yeah, we'll just see how stuff does. And at that point, every single sponge is gonna have to grow, except maybe 4. So a little bit worried in that area, but I ended up kind of improvising a little bit, kind of putting a little bit more in there. But I decided I was gonna do 4 trays of these. I decided, you know what, if I'm gonna be growing these under the grow lights for like a week or 2 weeks, I want to make sure when the grow light does say hello to the water, it doesn't start to form algae as quick as like if there's a lot more water space for it to grow algae. So at the end of the day, the algae risk is still there, but it's going to be a lot lower now that they're a lot closer together and a lot more crammed. So I'm going to go ahead and start getting the germination room a little bit ready, and I'm going to go ahead and put down seeds, and I'll give you guys an update here and there as they get more done, and then I'll probably do an update once I finish one tray, and I'll do another update when I finish the other tray. So yeah. Alright, so I just finished the first tray. Now I'm going to go ahead and start with the second tray. This tray should be a little bit easier, well, depending on the seed, because parsley is a little bit of a smaller seed, but other than that, a lot of these seeds are going to be a little bit bigger than like what I had to work with over here. So possibly these might be a lot more neat, but very excited to go ahead and start germinating this. So let's go ahead and finish this last tray. Alright, so everything's in the germination room. Everything's completely done now. So I have a lot of stuff right there, and I have a lot of stuff right here. Now, that one is on a heated mat. The heated mat is not plugged in, so really it has no purpose right there. I'm just going to keep it on there because there's no point in taking it off, and I'm just going to be reusing it in a week. So, yeah, now all I have to do is I have these black trays right here, and then all I have to really do, there's a little bit of water in there still, so let's just kind of dump it right there. But all I have to do is turn it over and then cover those up, and it forms a perfect dome for everything to thrive in and really keep the humidity up for, I forget what percentage it brings it up to, just really depends on the heat of the room and amount of water in the tray, but usually it could bring it up to like top maybe 200%. I don't think I've ever hit that percentage when I did some testing there, but it could get pretty close depending on the heat in the room and how long you have it there. It just, a lot of stuff makes that kind of happen. But I'm just gonna let these thrive for a lot longer. Now, some seeds will take a lot longer. So like these right here will probably take maybe a week, while these will probably take maybe 2 weeks before they're ready. So it'll be kind of just timing, but yeah, we'll just see how stuff does, and yeah. All right, so I'm starting to get a little bit nervous about growth in here. Let me kind of explain there for a second. Now, I have a lot of stuff growing, a lot of room to grow stuff, but the problem is everything's crammed so tightly together, I'm starting to get a little bit nervous because now, once stuff is done germinating, once stuff is done germinating, it's ready to go under the light. So, I'm a little bit nervous because right now it's a little bit colder outside, so I can't bring any plants out for the next 24 hours. Now, there are plants out there, but they've gotten a little bit more used to that type of weather a little bit more. But once it does start to get warm, I'm gonna have to bring out a lot of stuff because there's no room, and there's plants in the germination room that are ready to come out. So it's just this big stalling game right now, but let's go ahead and go outside and kind of just walk around. Now, lately it's probably been somewhere between 75 and 80 degrees, which is absolutely incredible. I mean, let's just walk around really quick. A ton of plants are absolutely thriving right now, which is awesome. But kind of what I'm saying is I'm a little bit nervous because it just rained a ton last night, so it's a little bit colder today. Now I think it's about 50 degrees, which isn't horrible, but the problem is it's gonna get down to like 40. I think it's like 40 or 38, but really hoping these plants will survive through kind of that really tough temperatures. But I have rosemary, a lot of different types of flowers. The strawberries are out here. Celery is out here. Now, this plant looks like it got hit pretty hard from the rain last night, so that is not the best. So let's try to just kind of fix it up a little bit more. Looks like that one actually got bent, so I guess I'll just have to kind of cut that after. But both of these are doing very pretty good. I have blueberry, 2 different blueberry plants. I ended up putting some stuff to bring down the pH level, so that's very exciting. And just really a lot of stuff is doing very good. Let me tell you what, spring break is starting to come up. It'll happen in about somewhere in about a week, but let me tell you what, that week is going to be a very productive week, because so far, looking at the weather, it looks like it's going to be very nice during that week. So I'll most likely plant everything throughout those few days, and yeah, very excited to get a lot done. We should start getting strawberries pretty soon. They probably have about maybe a month more before they're big enough to start producing strawberries, but there's gonna be a lot of stuff growing. Now, if you happen to read off some of the labels that are in the germination room or just on the shelves in general, we have a lot of stuff growing. Lettuce, different types of herbs, basil, cilantro, parsley, oregano, peppermint, lots and lots of things. And then a lot of those will go in the middle of here, mostly lettuce and herbs. And throughout here, these pots right there, those kind of like fabric black pots right there, will be mostly stuff that grows underground, like potatoes, just all sorts of stuff, garlic, onions, all sorts of stuff. So that'll be very nice. But to be honest, there's really no point in planting stuff and then just letting them grow slowly, because just the top of the pot, it'd be nice to grow something on top the first month, and then they start coming up, because they take quite some time before they can grow that root structure, and then a stem starts to come up. So I'm thinking I'm gonna plant peas in most of these pots. I might do peppers in a few and then not have anything under, but I'm thinking that would probably be the most ideal plan to make the most out of this garden. I'm also gonna be planting carrots right here, so that'll be very exciting once those start to grow. Right here, I'm gonna have 2 rows of, well, for the most part, I'll be just growing, 2 rows of tomatoes. I don't know exactly what kind. I was just there. I was gonna say like the kinds, well, yeah. So don't know exactly how much and what I'm gonna be planting right here, but I just know I'm gonna be doing about 2 rows, and it'll be very, very exciting once those start to grow. Those are actually already growing indoor, and yeah, hopefully they should be ready in about 2 weeks, maybe about time for more of spring. We are in spring right now, but yeah. So very, very, very excited for this entire garden. Looks like we did get a lot of water because this was completely empty yesterday about this time. So yeah, it is pretty cold out here. Not horrible, but a little bit chilly. And yeah, I'm gonna go back inside and I'm gonna tell you guys a little bit more stuff. So since I just got back from the garden outside, I really want to tell you the plan for basically this upcoming summer season, because last year during summer the garden was outside and there was barely anything growing in here. Maybe 2 shelves were operating at the time. The aquaponic system, the hydroponic system was off. Nothing was really running. Since then, I've officially started to work with aquaponics, so that system can't really be turned off temporarily. A lot of the plants I'm going to be working with in here, so that'll be very, very fun. I'm going to be growing so many different products I really want to work with once I do start my dream business, and just different setup designs that could be the most efficient for me. And yeah, so yeah, this is gonna be the end of the video. So if you guys like these types of videos, please subscribe, hit the bell notification on also you're not missing a video, and please like this video. I really do want to thank you all so incredibly much for watching today's video. If you guys want to check out our video we're going to post in about 4 hours, which is going to be our informational garden and plant tour, we'll be posting that very, very soon. So yeah, thank you so incredibly much for watching today's video and supporting the channel, and I'll see you guys tomorrow when we post next. Peace.